favorite food and Coke. It tastes better together. When we come back, we're going to get you closer to tonight's kickoff here from the Rock Pile, as it's Indiana High School football, Friday night football, brought to you by A&M Home Services on Max 98.3 Sports. Stay tuned.
Life.
Out. Culver's Portside Marina handles all water recreational needs. When it comes to pontoons, Godfrey leads the industry in performance and quality, and Portside Marina has it in stock. From sampan, aqua patio, and sweetwater pontoons. If you're looking for a family boat, Culver Portside Marina.
When you shop at Oliver Ford Lincoln in Plymouth, you're treated like family, and it's a full-service experience. Our expert service team can keep your vehicle happy for years, from simple maintenance to major repairs. We even provide a loaner car if your vehicle needs to stay overnight. So we have an excellent source of demonstrator vehicles offered to you with some
In a car motorcycle accident on August 4th, Jeremy's 15-year-old son Jacob was on the back of his dad's bike when the crash occurred. He suffered severe injuries to his legs, but in the process, he is right now in the process of making the recovery. However, his road to recovery will not be an easy one for a while, and currently in rehabbing, but he's literally learning how to walk again, and so he is going to be part of the ceremony that we're going to be having. And Jacob is here tonight, by the way. He's also part of the Mishawaka football program, and he also happens to be close friends with Rocky football lineman Thad Pletcher. Thad's dad worked with Jeremy, which is Jacob's dad, and they became close. So Thad's dad and Jacob's dad got really close, and that's how the connection kind of came here between these two. So we're going to be honoring the life of Mr. Bush and supporting his family and supporting Jacob and the Mishawaka football program as well. Such a tragedy as the Bush family continues to grieve for the loss of their husband and father and first responder of the Mishawaka community. So our continued thoughts and prayers with the Bush family. And in showing support of the Bush family, the entire Rockies football team bought South Bend Fire Department t-shirts with the fire department's logo 483 across the left chest of the shirt. A wonderful gesture by the kids and the coaching staff before tonight's game even begins.
A gut-wrenching story, to say the least, Tony, and I was wondering what all the photographers on the field around the 50-yard line were doing, and obviously they're preparing here as we get ready to have that presentation that you so well described, and it's a great story, but a gut-wrenching one.
Yes, sir. Well. Mishawaka making their way onto the field. They're decked out in their road white uniforms with maroon colors. The Rockies in their red and white uniforms as the Bush family are making their way out to midfield. Getting a nice hand from the Rockies football program, and the Mishawaka football team now making their way to the left hash marks. And they're going to line up along that left hash mark here, and I think we're going to try to see if we can catch the presentation as well here with John Scott, as both teams are waiting their final instructions here. But quite a moment and quite a wonderful gesture to the entire Bush family suffering the tragic loss of Jeremy. And boy, just a car motorcycle accident, just not very good one. Here's John.
Presentation here this evening. At this time, we'd like to direct your attention to the field. We ask that you all stand and honor the family of former Mishawaka football player and South Bend fireman Jeremy Bush. On August 4th of this year, the area lost a great man with a tragic motorcycle accident. Firefighter first class Jeremy Bush was a 1997 Mishawaka graduate. He proudly wore the number 68 and was a man who loved high school football. 20 years ago, Mr. Bush became a rookie fireman classmate to Plymouth resident and fireman Tim Pletcher. Tim's son Thad is a sophomore player for the Rockies. The two men enjoyed a lifelong friendship, and they were both looking forward to this evening with the hopes of watching their sons compete in the first ever NLC football contest between Mishawaka and Plymouth. To remember Jeremy, both teams were given t-shirts with his badge number 483 on it. The coaching staff for the two teams, as well as the cheerleaders, are wearing those t-shirts tonight. Tonight we also have a special guest. Jeremy's son, Jacob. Jacob was involved in that crash, and he's fought his way back through a tough rehab. This weekend is special for Jacob, as Sunday is his birthday. He had a goal of returning to the football field before his 16th birthday. We can make that wish come true tonight here at the Rock Pile. Football fans, let's give a big round of applause to Jacob, his mother Jennifer, and sister Jillian. Number 57, Jacob Bush.
Quite a moving scene here tonight. Pictures getting taken of both Mr. Pletcher and
Thank you, fans.
Jacob Bush. And now they make their way off the field. Well, if COVID-19 has taught us anything as individuals, it's the fact that, you know, sometimes we need to really appreciate the ones around us. And these are one of these moments. And kudos to the Mishawaka football program, and kudos to the Plymouth Rocky football program for making that presentation possible here tonight. And you can see some smiles on the Bush family, which is great to see. They appreciate the effort that was gone to it. And good to see Dean Huppert, Mishawaka athletic director. He's here tonight, doing a wonderful job over at Mishawaka, as he always does. And of course, he was helped out Michael Delp, the athletic director here, who also helped get things directed for this particular presentation. So just good stuff all the way around here tonight at the Rock Pile. All right, so the Rockies will elect to receive to begin this contest as they won the coin toss. Getting off to a good start is always a big thing in ball games, but make no mistake about it, Doug, you know, what you do with the football is where it counts, and the Rockies have just struggled on offense all season long, and they just got to figure a way to get some timing going, and hopefully having Jake back under center is going to help that cause.
Yeah, and it's all about confidence, like we talked about, and turning the page from that debacle of last week against Northridge. And you know, you don't want, if you're a Plymouth Rocky fan, 3 and out here on offense. You want to at least pick up a few first downs, and a nice long sustained drive would be welcome, to say the least. And actually looking like Jake Reichert is going to return this kick deep back to return the kickoff.
Okay, so that is going to be the case.
I think you're going to see number 7 a lot of positions that he can get his hands on the ball.
He is planted inside the 5-yard line, while you've got Devontae Garcia at the other receiving position, and the kick is going to be a wobbly one that bounces at the 20 and goes out of bounds. So the flags are thrown, and the Rockies will get a few extra yards because of that out-of-bounds kick. But Jake Reichert at the helm at quarterback now, and again, 9 of 18 coming into tonight's play under center. So he's right at 50%, but he's only thrown for 48 yards. He's thrown 1 touchdown, 5 interceptions, so he's getting about 12 yards a game when he's throwing the football. But where his damage is when he runs the football, where he's carried the ball 35 times for 294 yards of offense. That's about 8 yards a carry that he's getting. He has scored once via the run, and he's had one 100-plus yard game already. So from the 35-yard line, the Rockies be going right to left on your radio dial. We welcome all those folks tuning in on the Big Red Sports YouTube channel. Doug Griffith, Tony Ross, here on Max 98.3. And from the right hash marks, Twins to the right, a receiver to the near side. And it's a fumble right off the bat for Reichert. He gets away from one, scrambles out of bounds to the right at the 30, and the Rockies will lose 5 on the very first play of the game.
Well, they lined Jake up in the shotgun, and there was a low snap there, and he actually had to turn to get that off the turf. Was able to pick it up, but by the time he picked it up, there was a slew of cavemen there to greet him.
So an auspicious start offensively. Garcia will be joined alongside of Bowering to the left. And Sheely, the lone receiver on the short side at the top. Out of the two-back gun, it's going to be Reichert to carry and run. Gets up to the 30, nice cut, 35, and he's going to climb his way up to the 38-yard line. And so that's going to be a gain of about almost 10 yards there. That gets the Rockies into a third and a little bit more respectable 7. So now in this third down, the Rockies converting on third downs this season have not been all that good. 29% on third downs this season, 21 of 41 coming into this particular play. So they'll throw trips to the right here with the ball at the left hash mark, and 2 backs in the shotgun formation with Reichert on his right hip. Here's the give. Reichert's going to run it. He got it up the middle. Big run. 45, 50 left side. He could break it. 40. Mishawaka 30. 20. Can he break it? 10. 5. He got in.
Touchdown.
How about that play? From the 38-yard line. That's about, what, a 60-plus yard scamper for Jake Reichert.
Yeah, 62 run there, just outran all the Mishawaka defenders, caught them overloading the right side of the field, and he went left, ran right down the Rocky sideline. Great start for the Rockies.
So a 62-yard run, and the Rockies on the board with a chance for an extra point. Well, that's how you want to start a football game after dropping 5 yards on your first play, busting a 62-yarder on your third. Adrian Cardona, who was banged up a little bit, now back out to kick, and he kicks it right into the line. It got blocked. That was not going to have a chance even to get to the crossbar, I don't think. That was such a low kick, so the extra point, no good. But the Rockies are on the board. They strike first. 1 minute into this contest. Time of that touchdown was 11:06. This is Plymouth Rockies football on our A&M Home Services Game of the Week, which continues after this 30-second timeout.
But have you tried the pizza at Bourbon Street Pizza lately? More fresh ingredients and a new pizza sauce recipe. It's like a slice of heaven each and every time you take a bite. And now there's 16
sounding okay?
pizzas for you to choose from on the menu. And let's not forget the mouth-watering wings or their 5 different pasta dishes to choose from. Bourbon Street Pizza with area locations in Plymouth, Culver, Argus, Walkerton, Napanee, and in Bourbon. If you're looking for a quick and delicious dinner for the entire family to enjoy, look no further than a Bourbon Street Pizza location near you.
Justin Garrett will be kicking off for the
Well, the Rockies get on the board on their first possession. A 62-yard scamper by Jake Reichert, Doug.
Yeah, heck of a shot of adrenaline there. Just what the Rockies needed. 3-play, 65-yard drive, less than a minute. And, you know, as we saw it, all 3 plays, Jake Reichert touched the ball.
Justin Garrett will punt it away, and this ball is going to drop right at the 25-yard line of Mishawaka. And the return is successful up to the 40-yard line. Burris was able to gobble it up and bring it up to the 40, so decent field position for this highly potent Mishawaka Caveman offense coming into tonight's play. As we talked about, averaging 296 total yards a game. Of that, 262 have been on the ground on an average, so they'll be going left to right on your radio dial here. And for those of you tuned into our Plymouth Sports YouTube channel, they're going left to right as well. Okay. It'll be a 5-man front shown by the Rockies here. And there is a phone booth of players that are crammed up together in this option.
They only have 1 player split out.
2 wing backs, and it's going to be a give to the big man Mason right off the bat. And the fella's just going to bring it up.
Andrew Mason,
Mason, a 5'9", 180-pound senior, just bulldogs his way up the middle, gains about 5 yards. Navahar and Mills are going to get credit for the tackle. So a 6-yard carry will make this a 2nd down and 4 coming up here for the Cavemen.
The Rockies jamming about 9 people in the box within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. with Jake Reichert about lined up about 11 or 12 yards deep at the safety position.
Yeah, the Rockies are just daring Mishawaka to throw. The man in motion's Barris. It's a keep by Fisher. The quarterback tries to cut it toward the middle, gets up to the 50, and that's going to be close to a first down, and yes, it will be. So he gains 4.5 yards, good enough to move the chain for Mishawaka. And so the run game in full force here for the Cavemen. We're down to 10-17 and counting, left to go here in the first quarter. 1st and 10 coming up here for Mishawaka.
Rocky's going to have to do a better job stopping the run there. It's Mishawaka, 2 carries, 11 yards right out of the gate, and now they're in Plymouth territory.
So now with a receiver at the top and a receiver at the bottom, a little wider spread on the 2-wing back look, it's going to be a pitch to the left wing side. And on the carry this time, that is going to be a carry across the 40, 35, and close to the 30-yard line. On that carry has Hardy, the 5'5" South. He's a 135-pound halfback that really got some key blocks and a big gain for the Cavemen on that one. So now a 1st and 10 for the Cavemen at the left hash mark at the 35-yard line. Hardy stays in the game as one of the wing backs. He'll be the one on the right. There'll be a wing back left. Mason is the fullback. Burris goes in motion. Mason gets, nope, it's a quarterback keeping. Fisher is going to scamper across the 30 down to the 25-yard line on the QB keep. It's 9 yards on the carry. And so now it'll be a 2nd and short.
Yeah.
So the Cavemen need 1 yard to move the chains again as their running game is so far flexing the muscle. Rockies stick with that 5-man front look. 2 wing backs and the receiver on the right wing side. Actually, they'll go with twins to the right as far as receiver goes. There's a handoff. It's up, but keep by Fisher. Options left side to Hardy. He takes the 20 to the 15 before he's knocked out of bounds near the 15. So Hardy with the carry. And it's Jake Reichert who forced him out of bounds. And so that's good enough for the first down and another move the chain scenario for this Caveman squad. So now the ball resting at the 15-yard line. A whole new set of downs for Mishawaka. They're trailing 6-0 here. Fisher gets under his center. He's got Mason behind him. Hardy goes in motion. Fisher dives forward as he may have fumbled the ball. Rockies may have recovered. We'll see. The Rockies are celebrating, and they're covered. The offense able to recover a fumble. And how about that? Great work by that front line, creating that mesh. And someone came in and poked the ball free. So great work by the Rocky defense. They were bending, but they didn't break. So now they'll get back on offense, but they're deep in their own real estate at the 11-yard line. The ball is placed at the right hash mark, and the Rockies are already leading 6-0. Jake Reichert, 62-yard touchdown run. Right now the difference. Rockies break the huddle. You're going to have Reichert at quarterback. Creekbombs and Garcia are going to be the receivers to the left here. Shealy will be the receiver to the right. The 2 backs, once again, they're going to be Quintana and also Cullen Mills. Here's the snap out of the gun look. It's Reichert keeping off the right tackle he goes. He's going to get free up to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A 6-yard carry there for Jake. It'll be a 2nd down and 4 coming up for Plymouth. Addison on the tackle for Mishawaka. So Creekbomb comes out, and coming in for him, once again, this time, it'll be the new starter at split end, Devon Bowering.
It's been all Jake Reichert so far, 70 yards rushing already, Tony, on 4 carries.
This time it's twins to the right with Shealy and Garcia. Bowering on an island down low at the left hash mark out of a 2-back gun, 1 on each hip of Reichert. The man in motion's Garcia. High snap. He just got it off to Garcia. Can he stretch it? No, he cut it in and got it to the 20. Boy, he turned a nothing play into something and gains 4 yards. And the Rockies will be shy of a yard, or they're going to move the chains. They got it. So they needed to get 5, and they got it. So great job by Garcia, as Devontae really had to make a cut at that left hash to avoid a tackle, and then kind of sidestep his way through 2 other Caveman defenders coming at him. So the Rockies keep the clock going. 9 minutes left in the first. 1st and 10 now for Plymouth. at their 21-yard line. Trips to the right. Reichert in the gun at the left hash mark. There's the snap, and it's going to be a run, and he's got Reichert to the middle, up to the 30. Down as he climbs his way up to the 32-yard line. So Reichert with another good run. Boy, we said, you know, Michigan, they march downfield and they score on a regular basis. But their defense gives up just as much. In this case, more, an extra touchdown more than what they're scoring.
And Plymouth got that big first turnover of the game, so momentum in the Rockies' favor.
You got trips to the right this time, and here's a handoff. It's Mills getting the call right up the middle, and he got cracked a few times right near the 42-yard line. Or 30, make that 37-yard line, my apologies. Parmalee gets the tackle on a gain of about 3 for Colin Mills. So you're now at a 2nd down and 7 here for the Rockies. As we approach the 7-minute mark, remaining here in the first, 6-0 Plymouth. A 62-yard scamper into the end zone for Jake Reichert. Right now, the difference in the ball. Sheely's wide right. It'll be Garcia on the slot, and Creek middle of those two. So now you got a single back gun look. Ball middle of the field comes in motion. Reichert's going to keep and run right side, and he got met. About a yard gain on that carry. Mishawaka stayed home, and one of their linebackers, their defense is able to hold his ground and make the tackle there. So it'll be a 3rd and 6 coming up as Burris and Fair. It was Fair, actually, the linebacker that stopped it. I thought it was either a end or a outside linebacker that made that tackle. It came to be the outside linebacker.
Well, you wonder how long it'd take Mishawaka before they solely key on number 7, Reichert.
Garcia and Sheely split to the right, and Mills will now branch off and be the slot receiver with Bowering on the outside. So it's 2-by-2 out of the single gun look for Reichert. 3rd and 6 from the Rocky 37. Garcia comes in motion. Reichert fumbles the ball, and the Cavemen come after him and sack him clear back to the 30. That'll be a 7-yard loss for the Rockies on that particular play. Tyler Fair was the man that came in and just busted through that Rocky line. And you could tell, I don't know if the fumble there by Jake was because he saw it coming or what the scenario was, but it did not help the Rockies there, and they will give it up.
Well, the snap was a little waist high, and it looked like to Jake's right there, and he sort of bobbled it, and by the time he secured it, like you said, Tony, the Cavemen were all over him.
So it'll be Garrett to boot it away from just above his 20, and the ball's going to take a Mishawaka roll shy of the 40, and it stops at the 41, where Garcia touches for the Rockies. So we got a 1st and 10 coming up here for Mishawaka. They trail it 6-0, 5:09 left to go here in the opening quarter. Look across the way into the north parking lot, a lot of folks there. Getting a chance to watch a little. Tonight. We got a good crowd here. Yes, sirree. They are social distancing well.
Also counted, Tony, on the Plymouth sideline, 10 players in just their jerseys. So they're in the injured bunch, if you will.
Yep.
No pads on, just jerseys, and most of them have sweatpants on, I think.
So Mishawaka will have it 1st and 10 from their 41-yard line, going left to right on your radio dial. Again, 2 wingback formation. One of them goes in motion. It's a handoff to Mason, though, off the left guard. Scampers 45-40, or 45 up to near 50. They'll be stopped shy of the 50, right near the 49-yard line. Isaac Navahar, who's having himself a pretty good season for the Rockies defensively, gets the tackle there. He's on clock now under 5 minutes on the Bellman Oil scoreboard, where the Rockies have a 6-0 lead.
Boy, Mason's built like a fire hydrant, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He is a photogenic fullback, to say the least. This kid has a low center of gravity, and he protects that football. Again, a 2 wingback set, actually with a tight end there lined up, so it's trips left, and now it's going to be Fisher keeping, and the quarterback gets across the 50 and gets down to the Rocky 45.
Brought down by Daniel Bacon.
So that'll be a 1st down run for the Cavemen.
For Mishawaka at the Rocky 45-yard line.
So now you're looking at a 1st and 10 for Mishawaka at the Rocky 45-yard line with 4:20 and counting left to go. Cavemen looking to line it up pretty quick here. Oh, now it's taking a little bit longer here. Keith Kinder letting his offensive coordinator get the last-minute play call in. Still a 2 wingback look. with Mason at the fullback position. A receiver top and bottom. Burris goes in motion, and it's going to be a handoff right up the middle, and that's going to be Mason getting the call across the 40, and he's going to get about an 8-yard carry down to the Rocky 37.
Just like we saw in the Plymouth Warsaw game where they just, that fullback dive, it was constant throughout that game.
Well, they are going right after Owen Bachman, the nose guard, and I'm sure the Rockies will be switching out every now and then to give their nose guard, whoever it'll be, some breather. Two wing back look, receiver top and bottom. Everybody's still bunched up. Burst goes in motion. Fisher turns it up the middle, gets to the 35-30, to the outside 25, and Creekbaum able to push him out of bounds near the 20-yard lines. And so it's going to be on the quarterback keep, another Caveman first down run. And the clock stopped at 3:20 to move the chains. And now it's at the Rocky 20-yard line. Opponents at the Rocky red zone again.
18-yard pickup there for the junior quarterback.
Well, that's one thing Fisher does well. Last game, he rushed for 127 yards on 17 carries.
He's got 47 right now and 5 carries.
Two wing back look, and one of them goes in motion. That's Addison. It says again a keeper, or Mason getting the call, and he gets down to the 15-yard line on a 5-yard carry right up the gut. So the ball stopped at the 15-yard line. Daniel Bacon getting credited for that tackle for the Rockies, coming from his middle linebacker position. 2nd and 5 at the 15 of the Rockies as the Cavemen are on offense, trailing 6-0 on the Bellman Oil scoreboard.
And Tony, you're noticing every carry Mishawaka's gaining 4, 5, 6 yards. Not a good sign for the Rockies.
Well, it's been that way since the outset of this game. It's just Mishawaka fumbled the ball on their first possession and gave it up. Burris in motion, it's a counter play, and getting undercutted there at the 19-yard line, that was Addison. Connor Addison was the carrier. He's a 6'1", 180-pound senior. Gains maybe about a yard. Dad Fletcher on the stop for the Rockies on that particular play. So it's 2nd and, scratch that, make that 3rd and 4 coming up here for the Cavemen. Fletcher with a nice defensive play a moment ago.
That's what we talked about, Plymouth jamming the line of scrimmage, getting a lot of bodies there at the line of scrimmage. We're able to get the Mishawaka running back there for a short gain.
Addison goes in motion, but it's a give to Mason. Nope, it's a keeper by Fisher. Turns the edge, gets to the 5, and he scampers in. A 14-yard scamper by Fisher. He took the left side and got the blocks he needed. And Mishawaka has just tied this up at 6-6. So this comes with 2 minutes left on the first quarter clock. And so they will go for the 2-point conversion. Well, they might not. I don't know. They got a kicker in Connor George, who's 7-9 in PATs. But right now, they're lining it up as they're going to go for 2 here. So they are. Mason will be the fullback here, and it's going to be Fisher to keep. Turns the outside, and the Rockies will not. No, he got in. He just got in across the plane.
He reached the ball out and must have broken the plane, according to the side judge.
Bacon was there on the stop, but just not quick enough, apparently. So, 2-point conversion successful for Mishawaka. And now they have the lead for the first time tonight, 8-6. We'll keep it here and remind you tonight's game on X98.3. Also brought to you in part by our good friends at First Source Bank in Plymouth, Bremen, Culver, Argus, and La Paz. We're your partners from the first. First Source Bank sponsoring every touchdown tonight. So the 62-yard touchdown run that started this game by Jake Reichert was sponsored by our good friends at First Source Bank. Doug Griffith, Tony Ross, great to be with you. Mark Hayden, not with us tonight, had other obligations. Just a beautiful Friday night for football. Game time temp was at 59 degrees. Probably dropped a degree since the start of the game.
It was a 7-play, 59-yard drive, a little over 3 minutes on the time of possession. And Mishawaka takes the lead 8-6.
All right, so the Rockies will have Lester deep, and the ball ends up getting a touchback here for the Rockies is just shy of the 40-yard line. Jazz Hardy on that carry. That'll be a gain of about 7. So now a 2nd and 3 coming up. 108 rushing yards in that first quarter for Mishawaka. The Rockies had 84 on 12 plays. 2 wingbacks. And a receiver top and bottom, ball left hash mark. Burris goes in motion. It's going to be Fisher giving to Mason up the middle. Boy, look at him turn, stay on his feet inside the 40, down to the 37.
Stopped at the 37.
So that'll be a first down run once again for Andrew Mason. 5'8", 180-pound fullback. I mean, they got him listed at 180, and I just don't believe that.
That's way on the light side.
That's just
Tony's
maybe from another 2 stories up, because he just gets smaller when you look down on him. But from this distance, he is not 180 pounds. He can't be.
All 3 possessions, Mishawaka's had the ball inside Rocky territory tonight.
2 wing-back look. Ball right in the middle of the field with a fullback Mason. And now the man in motion's Hardy, and it's going to be a keeper by Fisher. He got slowed down, gains a couple of yards, but good read by Quintana, or rather Crawford. And Quinton makes a nice tackle for the Rockies. Gave up a few yards, though. It's now 2nd and 5 coming up for Mishawaka.
Just to give our listeners an idea how well they run that option, I was completely fooled on that play. I thought the fullback had the ball.
Yeah. Well, that's how you know you're running it right. Burris goes in motion again. Now he stops, and now flags are thrown here as someone jumped.
Yeah, Plymouth jumped.
Offside against the Rockies.
So that will back up the Rockies 5 and should give Mishawaka a first down, and will.
We didn't even talk about that in the
Hang on
pregame.
just a second.
Maybe not.
Yep, now they're going to move the chains.
Didn't talk about that in the pregame. You know, Plymouth can ill afford to give any free yardage to this caveman offense, especially in critical time. I mean, you got them 2nd and 5. That it doesn't seem too advantageous, but you don't want to jump off sides and give them a free first down.
Ball just inside the left hash mark. Fisher hands it off. Mason gets the call. The fullback just guts it right up the left hash mark. I mean, they're just straight head running. There's hardly any off-tackle stuff here. And Mason gains about 5 yards on the carry. 2nd and 5 coming up for Mishawaka.
2nd and 4 after that 6-yard
They have
pickup.
sounded like a broken record the entire start of this game. 5-yard chunks. I don't think they've had less than 5 yards on a carry.
Addison had that one end around, but not from their running back, certainly.
Here's Fisher with the keep. He gets to the left side, gets inside to 20-15, and he's brought down at the 14. Navahar on the tackle for the Rockies. And so the ball now placed at the 13-yard line, and again, another big chunk run for the Cavemen. And they're in Rocky real estate, and the red zone 13-yard line is where the ball gets placed. Clock down to 9 minutes and 40 seconds. 2-point difference, 8-6 in favor of Mishawaka on the Bellman Oil Company scoreboard. Barris's motion, it's Mason getting the call. Up the middle he goes. Quinton got in on a tackle, and I think that was Navahar as well from the linebacker position. So Crawford getting a tackle in on there. But that's going to be a gain of about 3 yards on that fullback keep by Mason. So it's 2nd and 7 coming up here for Mishawaka. And they're at the 7-yard line. They need to get to the 3 if they want to get a whole new set of downs. 2 wing back look. Burris, the man in motion. It's going to be a handoff. Mason got through, gets inside the 5 before Bacon saves a touchdown by leg tackling him right around the 2, and that'll be a first down for the Cavemen and at the 2-yard line.
That was terrific blocking. He just ran that off guard between his guard and tackle. Huge hole.
Down to 8:46 and counting remaining in the second. Mishawaka looking to punch in their second touchdown of the night. And from the 2-yard line, it's going to be Fisher with the keep off left guard, dives in, and he gets in.
It's Mason, I believe.
That's Mason getting the call on that fullback carry. So Mason with the touchdown run. That's his 3rd score of the season. And now it's 14-6 in favor of Mishawaka. Well, again, you know, it's been impressive to watch that offensive line right now, just moving Rockies out of the way right now, despite the effort being put forth. They're going for another two-point conversion. Burris goes in motion, and Fisher throws it in the end zone to Hardy for the touchdown.
Two-point conversion.
So the two-point conversion is successful.
That's unfair, Tony. You throw. That may be the only throw we see all night from the Cavemen, right?
Ain't that the truth? Well, clock stops at 8:36 on the Bellman Oil scoreboard. And it's Mishawaka 16 and the Plymouth Rockies 6. We'll take a 30-second break and come back here to the rock pile with the Rockies on offense when we return. Don't go away.
Gym in your hometown when it comes to great food. That's the case with Bob's Cafeteria Food Truck at 610 East Jefferson Street in Plymouth. Inspired from the memory and in honor of Robert and Mary Listenberger's parents' first restaurant. Open Wednesdays only from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Their menu includes mouth-watering Chicago dogs, their famous pulled pork, and the incredible grilled prime rib sandwich. And that's not all. Grab your Wednesday lunch or dinner at Bob's Cafeteria Food Truck at 610 East Jefferson Street every Wednesday. We'll see you there.
Rockies football on Max 98.3, brought to you in part by Plymouth DC Garage Doors and Entry. Since 1988, Plymouth DC Garage Door and Entry has become the largest overhead door company in northern Indiana. Owner Jim Brown invites you to stop in at the Airport Road location of Plymouth. Call 936-7902 for any type of garage service you need. Devontae Garcia on the return for the Rockies. He's able to muster his way up to around the 27-yard line, and that's where the Rockies will have control for this next possession. They are trailing by 10 on the Bellman Oil Company scoreboard.
It's a huge possession. You hate to say that midway through the second quarter, but Mishawaka's settled into the game, had the ball each time in Plymouth territory, scored on their last two possessions. Plymouth needs something positive on this drive, Tony.
Well, this time we got Reichert with two backs to his left. He gets the snap. He's going to run it up the middle, and he's going to get taken down right at the 30. So a gain of about 3 for Jake on the first play for the Rockies there. Bo Brown with the first tackle of the night for Mishawaka. Again, part of that very impressive linebacking or front line that they have, where 3 out of the 4 defensive linemen were linebackers last year. You've got Devon Bowering split out wide left, Garcia and Shealy on the inside. The two backs are on both hips of Reichert, and it's a handoff. Big run here for Crawford as he claims his way up to the 40-yard line for a Rocky first down. So Quentin Crawford with a nice run, and he gets his first, that's his first run of the season. That is some positive numbers.
Nice 12-yard gain, though.
Looked good, too. Crawford was normally on that offensive line at the start of the year. It'll be Garcia and Kriegbaum split off to the left. Shealy down low. Two-back gun look again here for Reichert. Here's the snap, and Reichert's going to look to roll left. He's got to avoid one tackle. Does. Now he's going to scramble. He's got room. Comes near side 50, 45, cuts in the middle, 40, 35, steps up under the defender. He goes east-west now to the far side, and he's brought down near the 32. Well, and you wonder why Jake Reichert is your man to be quarterback. That's your reason. Because he can do so many things. He gives you the best option to make positive yardage. And we saw it there on that play. He almost got sacked for a loss of about 5, maybe even close to 8 yards, but he eluded it. And from that point on, it was Jake's athleticism taking over. And next thing you know, the Rockies got the ball in the Mishawaka 33 in a 1st and 10.
Yeah, that was an amazing run. Great. You avoided 2 Mishawaka players that looked like they were going to throw him for a loss.
Garcia and Shealy, twins to the right, a receiver to the left and Bowering in the Rockies jump, I think.
Flag on the play.
So, the flag thrown. Delay game against the Rockies. See, those are the things those are momentum killers. And you got to be cognizant of the clock.
And it puts you in long yardage situations.
Yeah.
I know you're only first down, but still, then it shrinks the playbook as well. Great ad-lib play on that previous play by Reichert.
So
made something out of nothing.
1st and 15 now with the ball at the 38-yard line. Twins to the right, a receiver to the left, and here's the snap, and it's a give. This is going to be Crawford again. He runs it up the middle, gets across the 35, down to the 33 before he's knocked down. On the tackle for the Cavemen will be Max McCullough.
Connor Addison on the stop.
Connor Anderson will also get an assist on that particular play.
Picked up 5
So on the 5-yard
10.
scamper, you're looking now at a 2nd and 10 for the Rockies. The ball placed at the 33-yard line of Mishawaka. On the Bellman Oil Company scoreboard, 5:53 and counting, 16-6 Mishawaka. Rockies, though, trying to threaten. They got trips to the right this time with the ball near the left hash mark. Reichert with the snap count. Bad snap, it goes past him. He has to go chasing and falls on it. Clear back to the 50.
And there's another one. It went right through, his hands. It was
A 17-yard loss.
bulleted back there, but again, I don't know if he's expecting the ball later than what it's coming out. There's something going on with the center.
Jake's just not seeing it. I don't know what that possibly could be, but it's happened 4 times, and boy, you go from the 33 all the way to the 50 because he didn't handle a snap, and well,
that's
now
the
let's see
story
what
of the
happens.
game right now.
Yeah. Well, twins to the left, a receiver to the right. 2-back gun look for Reichert. Ball middle of the field. Reichert's going to look to throw. He tries to escape. He eludes one. Throws downfield, and it's incomplete. Trying to find Garcia near the 40. Just underthrew him. Didn't have enough arm strength on it. And so the Rockies will punt it away on this 4th and forever. With the clock stopped at 4:52 remaining in the first half. Rockies trailing 16-6.
It was the first pass of the game, not counting the 2-point conversion.
Well, they tried to boot a couple of times beforehand, but it resulted in Reichert running. Yeah. All right, Garrett will punt this away from the 40. And a good in over in is going to be approached and grabbed here by Parker. Navante's going to get met right near the 34-yard line and draped at the 33. So good specialty team coverage by the Rockies there. Prevent anything dangerous from happening because Parker is a playmaker. So it's 1st and 10, Mishawaka from their 34-yard line. 4:42 left to go in the first half. On the Bellman Oil Company scoreboard, 16-6. Mishawaka has the lead. So they'll have a receiver at the top and a receiver at the bottom. Chaz Hardy late in coming onto the field. He's got to be one of the wingbacks here. He gets the play call from Mason, who now lets his quarterback Fisher tell Hardy what the next play is. 2 wingback set. Hardy goes in motion to gives him hip. It's a keeper by Fisher. Option near side Hardy, who just came into the game late, and he scampers across the 40-yard line, and Chaz got close to a first down run, picks up 9 yards. Creekbaum prevented the first down with them pushing him out of bounds. So how about that for working out? You're late in getting on the field because you missed your assignment, and you get the call the place for you, and yet you still managed 9 yards. 2nd and a long 2 here for Mishawaka. Gain of 8 on that last play, apparently. 2 wing-back look again. Mason is the fullback. Fisher is going to give it to Mason up the... Nope, he's going to option right side. Stretch it out. He gets to the 40. Oh, the Rockies did a great job. Riker got over there. Garcia also on... No gain on that play. Good work by Riker and Garcia on the pursuit there. Cavemen get nothing, and it's going to be still 3rd and short. 2 yards to try to move the chains here with the ball at the Mishawaka 41.
No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and 2.
New play call here for Keith Kinder.
It was one of those few times we saw Mishawaka try to spread the field.
Yeah. Receiver on the short side, and then you got a receiver at the top, and it's a give to Mason left guard, and he's just going to get his first down run as he climbs up to the 45. Well, he just went off the left guard's butt, and that was it. He did the rest. So the Cavemen will move the chains. Sometimes when you're having that fullback, you wonder why get fancy trying to spread people out if it's working. And Mishawaka's been averaging about 5 yards a carry.
Tell you what, a lot of David Bacon and now Bacon in the Plymouth Rocky defense.
Well, we knew we would. Tackles. We knew we would be hearing those. 1st and 10 from the 46. Fisher's going to throw the ball deep down the right sideline for Parker. Oh, he dropped it. Garcia was on the coverage on the play. So the incompletion will make it 2nd and 10.
Devontae Garcia knocked it away.
But Parker was there, and
Second and 10.
just when you don't think they're going to throw the football, what do? They throw the football. And
It was a perfect time for that
yeah.
play call. And credit
First down.
Garcia for not biting on that. It was stride for stride with the receiver.
Right.
Really well thrown ball. The receiver should have made that catch for a long gain, but did not.
That's Doug Griffith, Tony Ross. Great to be with you. We've got A.J. Bodine back in our Max 98.3 studios for our Friday night football game of the week presented by A&M Home Services. It's a pitch near side, and this is going to be hard to get in the call. Gets up to the 50 before he's slammed down by Crawford. Reichert also might get an assist on that as well. So a gain of a couple there. So now you're looking at a 3rd and 5, maybe 3rd and 6. Coming into the game for the Rockies at linebacker will be Matt McCrum. Oh, no, scratch that. He's going to play on that front line. As the Rockies have Reggie Vasquez take a breather on this play.
Also seeing a lot of guys go both ways, like Coach Barron said, for the Rockies.
Yep. So here we go. 2 wing back set. Morris goes in motion. Looks like Mishawaka may have jumped here. We'll see.
Timeout, I believe.
Yep, timeout call.
Mishawaka.
So with that timeout, 2:44 left to go here in the opening frame. We'll keep it here and remind you that tonight's game also brought to you by Ancilla College. Thinking about heading back to college? Let Ancilla provide you the education needed to get your career going. At Ancilla, we believe in you. Also by Coca-Cola of Plymouth, your favorite food and a Coke. Together tastes better. By Oliver Ford Lincoln. Over 64 years of serving Marshall County and still going strong. We tip our hat to you. Also by our great friends at Bowen Printing, where service, smiles, and custom creations are what we specialize in since 1943. Call Dawn at Bowen Printing for all of your promotional needs.
How about Triton, Tony? Lead Culver 28-8 in the second quarter. Warsaw leads Northridge 14-7. That game also in the second quarter.
That is interesting. Well, the Triton Culver score isn't that surprising to me. I mean, Triton's a good little team. They are. I mean, they got some kids, and I think it's a scenario where, well, if you were listening to the Sunday Morning Coaches Corner last week, you heard Coach Eunice said, well, we're going to be challenging some kids, and apparently the message has been received.
I was going to say loud and clear.
All right, ball at the left hash mark for Mishawaka coming off their timeout. 3rd and 6 from the Rocky, or actually from the 50-yard line. And it's going to be Fisher to keep the ball. Rockies seal the edge. A flag is thrown. Fisher gets drugged down right near the 45-yard line by Crawford. Also the late tackle, Colin Mills. So see who this flag's against. He'll be holding against the Cavemen, and that'll back him up. So the clock stops at 2:38 as they back up the football. Official explaining the call to Coach Kinder.
That would have been right at the sticks for a first down. Instead, it's going to be 3rd and very long here for the Cavemen.
That'll be placed at the 39-yard line, so that's big. So now it's a 3rd and 16.
Yeah.
3rd and 16 here for the Cavemen. They're going to just bunch everybody up here. Look at this. It's everybody in a phone booth. That's what it is. 2 wingbacks here. Burris in motion. It's going to be Fisher to drop back to throw. Looks over the middle. His pass is going to be for Hardy. Incomplete as he overthrew him. He led him too far, and the incomplete pass will now bring a punt situation on this 4th and 16. Good coverage there by the Rockies. I mean, even if Hardy completes that catch, he's going to be right around the 47, and it would have been a real challenge to get that first down, which he would have had to reach at the 43. Connor George will punt this away for Mishawaka. He's hanging around his 25-yard line to your right on the radio dial. Rockies, they have Devontae Garcia. What a fantastic young athlete he is. He is a playmaker.
Delay a game penalty on Mishawaka.
Yeah, delay a game on Mishawaka. Ouch. Well, I tell you, this could be, I mean, we were not privy of this, but this could be one of the reasons why Mishawaka's been struggling a bit. Little mistakes like this. And they don't even have a man. They need to get an extra guy out there. So hustling on late was
They only
Isaac
had 10
Valdez.
players on the
They
field.
only had 10 players on the field. So from his 20, it'll be George to boot it away. Got a good kick away. And it takes a Mishawaka roll, gobbled up by Garcia at his 25, takes the outside 30, dodges one, and then gets hit by 3 right near the 34. But a great return by Devontae Garcia nonetheless.
Brought down by Isaac Valdez.
Valdez, who just came into the game, ends up making the tackle. So the clock stops at 2:08 on the Bellman Oil Company scoreboard, and it reads 16-6 Mishawaka with the lead here on our A&M Home Services Game of the Week. Doug Griffith, Tony Ross, great to be with you. We got A.J. Bodine back at our studios. He's the engineer that drives this train. He does a great job, and we appreciate him. Welcome all those watching in on the Big Red Sports YouTube channel. Glad you're letting us be part of your evening as the Rockies will break the huddle and a 1st and 10 from their 33. Trips will be to the left here. It'll be a 2-back gun look here. Reichert has his 2 backs off to his left. Here is the snap. Oh, Reichert fumbled the ball. Now he's going to have to run and scramble right. He's got room. 35, 40. Still a beautiful slide step at the 45. Climbs his way to the 49. Oh, that's a first down run. That should have been nothing but a loss. But Jake Reichert showing that athleticism after he fumbled the snap. And he was able to get the Rockies a first down. Whoa.
Just how Barron grew it up, right? In company.
Mike Kirshner, I think, he dropped his headsets. Twins to the left, the receiver to the right. And it's going to be a handoff. This is Mills. Boy, look at him pound his way up the middle. Climbs his way up, or down to the Mishawaka 48. Good carry by Colin Mills there. And now it'll be a 2nd and 6 coming up here for the Rockies. Boy, that was a nice play there. So the Rockies now will have twins to the left. It'll be 2nd and 6 here. Whistle sounds, and it looks like we had an equipment change.
Official timeout.
And indeed, that is going to be Christian Quintana having to come off, and he will be replaced by Isaac Navahar on that offensive guard, left guard position.
I think he had blood on his right leg.
In the meantime, the second quarter clock is down to 1:10. 2nd and 6 here for the Rockies. Twins left and the Twins right. It'll be Reichert to throw the ball. Stays, takes a hit. He throws deep. Caught by 20. Oh, he got to the 1. I thought he was going to stay on his feet, but he couldn't. What a play.
At the 1-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal.
Reichert got leveled as soon as he threw the football, and he placed it perfectly to Garcia.
Partner on the play.
And Devontae kept messing with me. I thought he was going to get in, and then he was being yanked down, and then he stayed on his feet. But now the Rockies are in great field position at the 1-yard line of Mishawaka, looking to cut into this 16-6 deficit.
He tried to get in, didn't he, Tony?
Wow, what a great play. And I'll tell you what, great concentration by Reichert there.
Heck of a thrown ball, too.
He got plastered. I mean, chested down to the ground.
He threw that on a line.
Perfectly placed. Well, and that's what Reichert can bring to the table, if Jake wants to bring it to the table. And that's what makes this kid so good. When he believes in himself, it's tougher to find a better athlete. You must account for him. So, it'll be 1st and goal Rockies coming off this timeout. 56 seconds left, and Mishawaka's going to try their best at a goal line stance here defensively.
How big is like the delayed game that moved them back on that punting situation?
So out of the gun, it's Reichert. He's got Twins to his left here. Trips to the left. His 2 backs on his left hip. Reichert's going to catch. Goes in, and it's a touchdown! Jake Reichert into the end zone for his 2nd time tonight. This one a 1-yard scamper into the end zone. That touchdown brought to you by First Source Bank. First Source Bank of Plymouth, Bremen, Culver, Argus, and La Paz, your partners from the first. Boy, I tell you, that's a nice momentum builder right there. And so now we got ourselves a 16-12 affair. And now the Rockies are going to go for two. Twins left, a receiver to the right, and Sheely. This might be the matchup they're looking at. Let's see. Reichert out of the gun. He's going to tuck it now, roll to his right. He may go in. He's got room. Two-point conversion successful. Jake Reichert scampers into the end zone right side. Beautiful setup by the Rockies and blocked well to boot. And the Rockies now trail by 2 at 16-14 on the Bellman Oil scoreboard. So that was just a good drive by the Rockies. A big pass completion by Jake Reichert. And Plymouth now trails by just 2 with 52 ticks left.
Just what the doctor ordered for the Rockies.
Yes, sir.
All the momentum. They started the game with all the momentum, taking the opening kickoff, and with a touchdown drive, they're going to end the half, it looks like, with the first half's last score.
Well, you know, if you're Coach Corbett, you're saying, now let's make a big specialty teams play here. Let's see if we can get the ball back for the remaining 50-some seconds. Now Coach Barron comes out and makes a little challenge to the boys. Tonight's game also brought to you in part by YSC Gear, your local hometown sports store, now located at 214 North Michigan Street in beautiful downtown Plymouth. Stop by and get cash on the spot for your gently used sporting goods. Hey, sidewalk sale days continue. YSC Gear, they have got their great specials that are going on during sidewalk sale days this weekend in downtown Plymouth. Stop by YSC Gear.
Justin Garrett.
All right, Garrett, we'll get ready to kick it off here for the Rockies. Do they maybe do a squib kick here, or?
No way. You don't want to shorten the field.
No. And it's a boot. And this is going to drop it inside the 30, 25, and roll out of bounds right at the 24. So that's where the Cavemen will have control for the remainder 52 ticks of this first half. On the Bellman Oil Company scoreboard, 16-14, Mishawaka has the lead. Doug Griffith, Tony Ross on a gorgeous Friday night here at the Rock Pile. Oh, I love coming back home and getting a chance to call the Rockies football game. And it's just, this year's different. And you could just tell COVID-19, and maybe we can kind of expound a little bit of that on our Oliver Ford Lincoln post-game show. You're hoping that this is a team that can avoid adversity. And here's Fisher throwing downfield, picked up by Garcia! At the 35, and now he's going the other way, 40. Escapes, 45-50, 45-40, and he gets to the Mishawaka 35, still on his feet, pounces off 2 tackles and finally brought down at the 33-yard line. Devontae Garcia.
Andrew Mason and Milan.
I told you this kid's a playmaker, and he just picked off a pass at the Plymouth 30-yard line and has taken it all the way to the Mishawaka 32-33. Now the Rockies have 34 seconds left on the first half clock to try to work some magic.
It was just, again, great coverage by Garcia. I thought it was a pretty well-thrown ball. It looked like the wideout had a step maybe on Garcia, but he was stride for stride and picked it off with his fingertips, racing down on the Mishawaka sideline on that long bomb attempt. And then a terrific run back.
So let's see what happens here. Trips to the left. The ball at the right hash mark for the Rockies. It's a 2-back shotgun look for Reichert. Here's the snap. It's low. Reichert's going to run with the ball. Taking it to the outside. Tripped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there for the Rockies. Maybe a loss of a yard, depending on the spot of the football. And indeed, it'll be a loss of about a half yard. And John Barron wants a timeout called for 20 seconds left to go here in this second quarter. Well, you wonder if that was the design play, or in that particular scenario, it just looked like there was just something that wasn't right particularly there, but Reichert trying to make something out of a play that was just didn't look right, and so it didn't pan out to any gain, and now it's a 2nd and 10 for the Rockies coming off inside the 20 to 18. Clock stops at 13 as they'll have to move the chains. Great play, and now the Rockies are going to have to spike the football as soon as the chain gang get lined up here.
They got plenty of timeouts. They got 2 timeouts.
I'm looking across the way in the Plymouth coaching box, and Kevin Garrity saying, spike the football, line up, spike the football. The clock's now rolling. Down to 9, down to 8. Oh, they're going to go for the last play. No, a timeout gets called, and we lost some precious seconds on the clock there.
I don't know why you didn't call timeout right away. You had 2 timeouts.
Or you do what Coach Garrity was talking about and get lined up and spike the football and save a timeout. But
even that, with 13 seconds, that takes too much time. You see what I'm saying? Call timeout right away. I mean, you're going to go into the halftime with one of those timeouts in your pocket.
Well, it's going to come down to this particular play that will finish up the first half here. It'll be a 1st and 10 for Plymouth coming off this timeout. Our game of the week also brought to you by Miller's Assisted Living in Plymouth since 1969. Miller's Assisted Living has proudly been committed to caring for those in the time of need in this community. Whatever you decide, we're here to help. Check us out at 625 Oak Hill Avenue in Plymouth. Love those folks at Miller's Assisted. They are wonderful folks. Well, here we go. 6 seconds to try to get into the end zone for the Rockies, and they're at the Mishawaka 19 in this 1st and 10. Twins left, receiver right, 2 back, Sun's gun. Rocket drops back, looks to throw ball for the fade round the corner to Sheely, goes up after it, and a flag is thrown! Flag on Mishawaka, pass interference with 1 second left
Pass intended for
in the second
Sheely
quarter.
was incomplete, but there was a flag on the play.
Well, Sheely was hand-checking with his defender, and it might have been, I think, Parker.
A lot of hand fighting there. I think this is going to go against Mishawaka. I really do.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it's not. I think that was Parker he was matched up against. If the young man would turn his jersey, or turn over to see his jersey, yeah, it was Parker. Or was it? I may be wrong on that. That might have been Keon Jewett. Yep, it was Jewett. So my apologies to Mr. Parker there. Again, my eyes, as I get older, always tend to deceive me.
Half the distance to the goal line.
All right, so the Rockies will now have it at the 9-yard line. 1st and 10. They got 1 second. This will be the final play of the first half. Can the Rockies get in? It's Reichert. He's going to roll to his right, escape, stiff-armed his man, throws toward the end zone. It's caught by Sheely. No, he's going to say it was outside the end zone. The pass goes incomplete. It was not controlled by Sheely.
Well, he wasn't in anyway. The ball didn't break the plane.
The pass goes incomplete, but the Rockies gave it a valiant shot. And I'll tell you, Reichert made a very difficult throw, cross body, near the sideline, all the way toward the middle to try to connect there. So, we are at halftime, and it is a close one here at the Rock Pile. 16-14. Mishawaka has the lead over the Plymouth Rockies in our A&M Home Services Game of the Week. Coming up next, our Oliver Ford Lincoln Halftime Show. Don't go away. It's next.
Centurion has delivered hometown community banking in Indiana for 125 years. Visit your local branch in Plymouth, where our friendliest...
Ladies and gentlemen, for your halftime entertainment,
experience
our award-winning pride of Plymouth Marching Band.
Hey, did we get the last playoff at least? Did we get the last play on the air?
Go to
As you may be aware, the 2020 ISSMA State Marching Season, all competitions were canceled due to the COVID restrictions. While facing the disappointment of not having a competitive season, our pride of Plymouth Marching Band has continued to serve our students.
I want you to play Centier and Oliver Ford. Also, play Centier and Oliver Ford as well.
Entertain our audiences by coming together to present their 2020 production of Rock and Roll Tunes by the 1970s British rock band Queen. While the band will not be marching in a traditional manner to allow for social distancing, they will still be bringing their enthusiasm and passion for performing the stands
from
this
the memory
evening
and in
as
honor
they
of Robin
present
Mary
their
Listenberg
2020 production titled,
Open Wednesdays
We
only.
Will Earn
Their
You.
menu includes mouth-watering
The
Chicago
band is
sauce,
under the direction of Brian Age and Lisa
incredible
Wallen.
prime rib
Drum
sandwich.
majors for
And
this
that's
season
not
are
all.
sophomore
Grab your
Tessa
Wednesday lunch
Hutchinson
or dinner
and
at Bob's
senior
Cafeteria
Brayden
Food Truck at
Mackey.
610 East Jefferson Street every Wednesday. We'll see you there.
When you shop at Oliver Ford Lincoln of Plymouth, you're treated like family, and it's a full-service experience. Our expert service team can keep your vehicle happy for years, from simple maintenance to major repairs. We even provide a loaner car if your vehicle needs to stay overnight.
Drum majors, Tessa Hutchinson and Brayden Mackey. The field is yours.
At Oliver Ford Lincoln in Plymouth.
Welcome back here to the Rock Pile as it's time for halftime. Brought to you by our good friends at Oliver Ford Lincoln. At Oliver Ford Lincoln, we tip our hat to you. 16-14, Mishawaka has the lead. And Dougie, I tell you, it hasn't been a well-played game by either team, but there's been some really good moments so far.
Yeah, I think an enjoyable game from a fan's perspective. You've had, 2 turnovers by Mishawaka, the 1 interception, the 1 fumble. 1 fumble was huge in the first quarter where Mishawaka was driving, got to Plymouth's 15-yard line and coughed it up. And, of course, then the interception there late in the half where Plymouth had a great return by Garcia to set them up in excellent field position. Just ran out of time there, Tony, or Plymouth might have been able to take a lead here at halftime into the locker room. But what more can you say about Jake Reichert? The guy moves back under center and it's just been terrific. 15 carries, 104 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he's now completed 2 of his last 3 passes for 60 yards, both going to Garcia, including that 1 long pass that looked like Garcia was going to get in, was just held out of the end zone for at the 1-yard line. But Jake's been terrific, throwing the ball, ad-libbing, creating things, in the running game that didn't even look that they were there. And in the very first possession for the Rockies, he took that run around left tackle and, outraced the entire Mishawaka defense down the Plymouth sideline for the game's opening score. And I think the Rockies have used that early momentum and then, of course, the turnover for, a jolt of that energy that Coach Barron and his staff was looking for, and exactly what the Rockies team needed. They've had a lot of positives here in this first half, a lot of things to build off, so we'll see how the second half unfolds.
Well, and, a couple things that, were concerned was how was the Rocky defense going to be able to handle the front 5, going to be able to handle that big offensive line that Mishawaka poses. And, again, Mishawaka does what Mishawaka does. They average coming into the night 6 yards a carry. They're doing that here tonight, But Plymouth got better, it seemed like, as the second quarter wore on and cutting those opportunities, those big chunks down a little bit. At least the key possessions.
They did, and, again, I can't stress it enough. We always talk about on our broadcast how big the turnover battle is, and it's 2-0 right now in favor of the Rockies. And like you said, Mishawaka's, they are getting their yards on the ground, but boy, that fumble and that interception have really been gigantic. Have really stalled the Mishawaka offense, and so. The other key stat, Tony, Mishawaka's yet to complete a pass. They're 0 for 3. Looked like they had a couple opportunities, and, Garcia just was up to the task with great coverage. So sometimes you got to tip your cap to, the defensive players, and that's been the case for the Rockies. They haven't been fooled. I thought there was one occasion in particular where Mishawaka, they hadn't thrown a pass other than they had completed a 2-point conversion. They hadn't thrown a pass, and I thought they had a great play call, and it was set up perfectly. And boy, Garcia didn't bite at all and was stride for stride with the receiver, and it was an incomplete pass. I mean, things like that, they don't show up in your box score. Those are huge in a game like this that right now is a 1-possession game.
So it is 16-14. Mishawaka has the lead over the Plymouth Rockies. And again, we'll talk about keys to a second half, but let's look at some more numbers if you got them, Doug.
Yeah, again, you look at Mishawaka. Drew Mason is been their workhorse. He has 10 carries for 54 yards. Quarterback Justin Fisher, the fine junior QB under center for the Cavemen, he's carried the ball 8 times for 74 yards. He had that fumble that we alluded to deep in Plymouth territory in the first quarter that stalled a drive. He also threw that interception late in the first half that was picked off by Garcia. It was a well-thrown ball. Again, you just got to credit Garcia. Has made a really nice fingertip interception on that pass, but Fisher's 0 for 3 in the passing department. And you look at the Rockies, again, it's been number 7, Jake Reichert. What a game he's having. 15 carries, 104 yards. He's rushed for 2 touchdowns. We talked about the long touchdown run. That was a 62-yard touchdown on his 3rd carry of the game. He actually touched the ball all 3 times on drive score for the Rockies. And the Rockies has 3 times, completing 2 of those passes for 60 yards. And as we said, Devontae Garcia has caught both of those passes for those 60 yards. And then Colin Mills, he's carried the ball 3 times for 7 yards. And Quentin Crawford has 2 carries for 17 yards. And again, Garcia had an end around for a 5-yard gain. So that's the offense. And, Plymouth has got a lot of positives here to build off of. And some momentum. I guess my only criticism of the first half about the Rockies would have been better use of their timeout situation. They went into the dressing room with 1 in their pocket, and they certainly could have used a timeout when 13 seconds when Reichert found Garcia for a 14-yard gain inside the red zone, and there was some confusion between the offense and the Plymouth coaching staff whether to spike the ball or to get up to the line and call timeout. And as it turned out, they wasted 7 precious seconds, and they ended up calling timeout with 6 seconds to go. Had the time for 1 play, which resulted in incompletion by Reichert. But boy, that was close to being a touchdown. Sheely grabbed the ball, or maybe it was Garcia that almost a plane there, and but I guess he didn't control the ball, so it was an incomplete pass. But again, a lot, if you're on the Plymouth sideline, a lot to be positive about going in this second half, and the game's there for the taking, is it not, Tony?
Well, it is. And, if you're John Barron in the locker room right now, you got to be pleased with how your boys are showing some resilience. Again, I tell you, if they learn anything out of that first half is you can't be making mistakes. You cannot be fumbling the ball. You got to be handling these snaps a lot better than what's being done right now.
I'm glad you brought that up, because we didn't even talk about the snap situation.
You got to have your center and your quarterback better be figuring out how much they like each other. Otherwise, that's got to change. And that's something that can be done. That's something that can be practiced when they get back out here. Listen, if the snapper is firing too hard to you at the gun and it's tough, or Jake's maybe just simply taking his eye off the ball at the very last second, get that corrected. You've got to get that corrected, because it's going to cost you, if it doesn't already, being down 2 already at halftime. But
because that was really the only thing that stopped this Plymouth offense.
You're right.
Absolutely. And I think they had, at least from my count, half a dozen miscues in the quarterback-center exchange. And again, as we alluded to, Reichert lined up, I can't remember one time other than maybe there at the goal line when they had the ball at the 1-yard line where he went in, that he was under center. So it was all shotgun snaps. And again, being up here, it's tough to, judge just exactly what was going on. But from my vantage point, it looked like Jake, just wasn't ready for the snaps when they were given to him.
All right, well, let's find out here as we got Brent Corbett, varsity assistant, joining us. And Brent, I tell you, I know we're down 2, but if the biggest takeaway out of the first half isn't the effort, it's the little mistakes. For example, catch a snap, or the snapper slow some stuff, slow your pace down at your quarterback, because those are momentum killers. And especially when you're in good field position, you got momentum going. They may not show much on the stat, but man, they can kill a drive.
It just seems to be our season. In a nutshell, really. We do some good things, and then it's, crap, there goes the ball overhead. it's good that we ended the half the way we did.
Right.
Gives our kids a little momentum. We're up, right? I mean, we have her down on the scoreboard, but our kids got some momentum. They're believing. Is I think the big thing for us. You know, last week
2020, 2021
Northridge is a really good team, and we were just down. And it just, you know, going into this game, we know Mishawaka's got some size. You know, defensively, we're trying to slow the dive down. I mean, the Fisher kid's a good kid, but you know, offensively, our kids are starting to believe what's going on, and you're starting to see that confidence. You know, when we can't get the snap and what Jake can do.
Coach, how big was that opening drive and Jake's 62-yard run just from the mental well-being of your team, you know, putting last week behind him and needing something good to happen right out of the gate?
I think for Jake it was huge. It was a confidence factor. You know, he had some tough 2 games, and then he gets moved to wideout. You know, and last week was a frustration game for him. For him, I think it's confidence. It's, you know, I'm a great player in this conference. I can make plays for our team, and boom, he shows it. And just his athleticism.
Can you ask for any more from him in a half? I mean, he did pretty much everything.
He did well. Defensively, I'd like him to come down a little bit harder as a safety, but, you know, offensively, he's doing what we're asking him to do, and that's move us down the field and have that confidence and be that leader that we need in the huddle.
And they didn't throw the ball much, but I have to give kudos to Garcia. Was terrific in coverage, one of which he picked off and had a great run. Just maybe talk about his play. And I thought the first long pass they tried on you, which I believe other than the 2-point conversion, was their first pass attempt of the game, but he didn't bite at all, and he was man for man, you know, stride for stride with his.
Devontae's our best cover guy. You know, as a sophomore on JV, he was our best cover guy. He's a kid that can make plays. He's a goofy kid, but man, he's a kid that I would take on my team 100% of the time. He's a great kid. He's coachable. You know, after playing Warsaw, you know, he let a ball go over his head and, you know, kind of challenged him this week. Knowing what's coming at you, you're going to guard their best wideout. Go after it.
And our girls soccer team will be
key for our second half as well. What do we got to do? I mean, how do we shore up the defense? I mean, it's typical Mishawaka chunk yardage, 5 yards, 6 yards. Fullback, I mean, Mason's a handful. How do we try to slow them down? I mean, is it one of those bend but don't break scenarios?
We got to take the dive away. They'll take 3 yards all day, but if we can take the dive away, we have a lot of confidence in our skill guys that we can go up, make the pitch, make the tackle on the pitch, and make them do things like we did towards the end of the half, of throwing the ball and doing things that they don't want to do.
All right, brother, let's go get this win, huh?
Thanks, guys.
All right, there he is, Brett Corbett, joining us here on our post-game show, or on our halftime show, brought to you by our good friends at Oliver Ford. Right now, it is 16-14, Mishawaka with the lead over the Rockies. We'll get ready to wrap up our Oliver Ford halftime show after this timeout.
But don't know where to start, or maybe you're looking for a new
How's it sounding?
fitness effort. Whatever your situation, here's a happier, healthier tomorrow, and it's available right now. Come to Plymouth.
Okay, because my numbers are just going back up and down
Join a group exercise
on
program
2nd
or
Street, so.
aquatics class. Enjoy the Dance Academy. A more energetic, enthusiastic you begins at the Fitness Forum at Life Place. Stop in at Miller Drive or visit fitnessforum.biz.
Well, we're about ready to begin halftime here on Max 98.3. Our halftime show was brought to you by good friends at Oliver Ford and Lincoln. At Oliver Ford, we tip our hat to you. All right, Doug, you heard Coach Corbett talk about it. You know, we just do the little things to win this game. And that means those little things include, let's not beat ourselves. let's not go off sides when we're in a 3rd and short. Let's handle a snap. Let's do those little things that are going to get you the win tonight.
Clean some things up is what I took from the conversation, and it's little things like you said, Tony, and you could just hear it in his voice, and I would expect the Rocky players to have that same vigor and fight, and they should be up right now. They should be fired up and feeling pretty good. Yeah, you trail by 2 points, but you know, I think arguably that's your best half of football all season. Maybe without a doubt. Right. And they definitely answered the questions about turning the page from last week's debacle. I think Coach Barron and his staff got some answers on offense, and Jake Reichert looks pretty comfortable, and it's amazing what a positive play, a big chunk yardage play will do early on to not only a player's confidence, but a team's confidence.
Yep, couldn't agree with you more. And more of those got to take place. And I think the other thing, too, I think the line's got to continue to play strong on the defensive side. Listen, they just went through a first half of playing against a guy across from them averaging 255 pounds. They literally went up against college linemen. By third and fourth quarter,
do they get worn down?
Can they have the stamina to continue to fight? Therein lies, I think, maybe my biggest key in this second half for the Rockies. That defensive line is going to have to really have one of those gut check moments. If they want to pull off a win against Mishawaka, they got to win the line from this start of the third quarter on. They truly do. That's a lot of pressure. I know it. I know it. I know what I'm asking. I know what I'm saying. It's a lot of pressure. It's going to be very tough. And yes, I think this is the time where maybe you had that bend but don't break mentality here. It's just because they're so strong in their running game. It's tough to stop that 5-yard get that they have on every possession. It really is. So if this Rocky team wants to really do this and get the monkey off their back and turn this 2020 season around into a positive direction, it's got to be the defense that's got to really pull up and pull up big here to give Reichert and this Rocky offense, who I think can score on this Mishawaka team, at least a chance to do so.
I think it's going to be a big opening possession here in the second half, where Mishawaka is going to receive the second half kickoff. And again, if you're the Plymouth defense, you want to get Mishawaka's offense off the field. You cannot have them have another one of their patented long sustained drives, because like you said, and regain the momentum and wear you down even more. And at the same time, when Plymouth's offense is on the field, they need some of those time-consuming drives to keep their defense off the field.
Yeah. All right, so we are ready to start this third quarter. Big quarter here for the Rockies. They're only trailing by 2, but they'll be kicking off to Mishawaka here to get things started. Back to receive is Devon Parker.
As we start the second half,
and again, this kid's a playmaker. You can't give him an inch. There's a low line drive kick, and it spins to Parker, catches on a waist-high grab at the 20, to the 25, sheds 1 tackle, 2 tackles, and bringing him down to Seth Mills, right near the 40, or make that 36-yard line.
Once again, all
so Seth Mills makes the special teams tackle, and Mishawaka will have it 1st and 10, right at the 36-yard line.
To your seats with your parents, please. Thank you.
So the Cavemen finding themselves in a scenario where it's a 2-point lead, and they will send Jordan Waterford as a wide out right. He's the only one. It's a 2-wing back look with an extra tight. And now with the man in motion, it's a give to Massett instead. And he's going to go right up the middle. Gets up to the 40, crosses the 40 to the 42. So that is going to be a gain of 5 on the first carry. Quentin Crawford getting credited with one of the tackles.
Correction, 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 5.
So a 2nd down and 5 coming up here for the Rockies. Cavemen look at the next play with Fisher as the quarterback. Been impressed with him. He had a pretty good first half, doing what he's been asked to do and running this flex bone offense. Fisher into the center. Burris goes in motion. It's another quick hitter up to the middle to the fullback. And boy, look at Mason just bowl through. Climbs up to the 45 and dropped to the 47-yard line. It's another 5-yard gain and another move of the chains for the Mishawaka Cavemen.
6 on the play.
So again, it's just hand off and lower your head. There's nothing fancy about this run game for Mishawaka. They just come right at you. It's just a style of offense that's tough to defend. Under 11 minutes left to go in the third. A two wing back look, a man in motion to give. Once again, Mason takes the outside left. He's going to get to the left hash mark and drop once he crossed the 50 near the 47. So once again, Mason getting some yardage. No surprise. Knox leads John Glenn after the first quarter. 6-0, the score there.
You're starting to run that fullback a little wider.
Right. In motion, Burris. It's going to be a quarterback keep. Fisher goes off the right guard. Stood up by Crawford right near the 45-yard line. Dropped at the 44. So a gain of about 3 yards in the quarterback keep. Stop shy of the first down by a yard. So now you're at a 3rd and 1 for Mishawaka in Rocky Real Estate. Ball planted at the 43. On the Bellman Oil scoreboard, the clock ticking down to 9:45, 16-14. Mishawaka with the lead. This is their opening drive of the third quarter. Out of the center, once again Fisher. He's going to hand it to the fullback, and Mason, he's going to get down to the 40, escapes, but was whistled down at the 40-yard line. That'll be good enough for another Mishawaka first down.
Boy, that is such a quick exchange too, Tony. I can't even describe it to our listeners.
Well, that
the time they get the snap.
That first step by Mason's just, I mean, it's a blink of an eye.
It is. It really is.
It's literally a blink of an eye. And that just tells me he's an exceptional athlete. Again, they have him listed at 180. I think he's a little thicker than that, but it's going to be a quarterback keep to Fisher. He got the guard block he needed. He gets down to the 35-30, inside the 30, down to the 27. That'll be a first down on the 12-yard scamper for Mason.
28-yard line.
So that was Fisher carrying the football, my apologies. So another big run for the QB of the Cavemen.
He's approaching 100 yards. He's got 10 carries for 91 yards.
Their way down to the Rocky 28, 1st and 10. Here in the third quarter on the Bellman Oil Company scoreboard, 8:38 left, and it's going to be a handoff. Mason again to call, gets down to the 25. That'll be a 3-yard carry for the Mishawaka fullback.
Quentin Crawford in on that hit.
Last week, Mason carried the ball 24 times.
Also, Daniel Bacon
for only 83 yards.
2nd and 7.
Not sure how Warsaw did that. Because this Mason is an exceptional fullback who looks like he pretty much could have his way.
You're getting into a 4+ minute drive here, Tony.
Yes, sir. 2nd and 7 from the Rocky 25. Burris in motion, a give. Nope, a quarterback keep. Fisher found a hole, got upended once he crossed the 20. And he's going to get dropped right near the 20, make that 19-yard line.
Just short of the first down.
So a touchdown-saving tackle there by the Plymouth linebacker. And now it's a 3rd and 1.
But see, you've had on this drive 2 3rd and 1s now, and they're in 4-down territory. So to expect your defense to come up with back-to-back stops and keep them out of the first down is pretty unrealistic against this offensive front.
Two wing back look once again, 3rd and 1 from the 19. It's going to be Fisher on the keep. Steps through, got a hold. He gets across the 15-10, takes the left side and scampers into the end zone.
Touchdown.
A 19-yard run by Justin Fisher. As this young man has shown, he's a pretty good athletic quarterback.
It's 116 yards rushing now for Fisher.
So, this Mishawaka team did what they needed to do coming out of the halftime on their first possession, and that is score. And from 19 yards out, Fisher with the run. This comes at 7:22 remaining. Here in the third, it's a 2-point conversion attempt. Fisher keeps, and he gets in. So Fisher runs in a touchdown and finishes a 2-point conversion. And now it's 24-14. So again, it's just run, run, run. And they are doing it successfully. So Mishawaka starts the Third quarter off in their first possession with a touchdown. They lead at 24-14 here at the Rock Pile. Our A&M Home Services Game of the Week continues after this 30-second timeout.
Johnson Danielson Funeral Home has been part of the Plymouth community. Its staff is committed to providing care that goes beyond the expected, serving today's families who call Marshall County their home. Jim and Terry Waldy, along with professionally caring staff, remind you to check out their website for COVID-19 updates and what to expect during services. While paying our final respects to our loved ones is a top priority, so is keeping family and friends that attend safe. Johnson Danielson
Connor George kicking off.
Committed to serving families with dignity and respect.
Garcia and Reichert are
There's a little pooch kick that's going to drop at the Rocky 40 and cover it up smartly by one of the Rocky up-backs. And that was number 14, Alan Barrera, a 5'7", 135-pound sophomore. So the Rockies with decent field position on this drive as they are up at the 34-yard line. But now they need to answer.
Yeah, that was a tough drive. Credit the Cavemen. 9 plays, 63 yards, 4:38 in time of possession. Now Plymouth needs to answer.
So it'll be Leonard Creekbaum split out wide left, and it'll be Garcia in the right slot, and the right receiver will be Sheely. It's a two-back gun look, and Reichert looks to throw near side on a lollipop pass, dropped at the 40. And that was Colin Mills, I think, who was the intended receiver and was. Well, he had some room if he makes the catch there, but just cannot haul it in. So the incompletion makes it 2nd and 10. The ball stays at the 34-yard line of Plymouth. And on the Bellman Oil Company scoreboard, it's 24-14. Mishawaka Cavemen with the lead. Garcia and Sheely, left to right, are the twins right. The receiver at the top. In this formation from midfield, the ball snapped. It's Reichert handing off. It'll be Crawford getting the call, and he gets draped near the 35, and the ball may have got stripped loose. Mishawaka saying they recovered.
They called him down.
But they called him down.
Brought down by number 74, Tanner Parmley.
Tanner Parmley gets credit for the Caveman tackle there.
3rd and 7.
So a 3rd and 7 now for the Rockies here.
How big is this 3rd down?
Well, you hate to say it, but it's kind of big right now. Twins to the right, a receiver to the left. Creekbaum is on an island on the short porch left. Garcia and Sheely to the right. It's another two-back gun look again. Reichert fakes a handoff. He's running for his life, and now he's going to turn it upfield. Got by one defender, got a block, 45-50. This is a first down run as Reichert gets across the Caveman 45 down to the 43.
It'll be 1st and 10. Rockies.
Well, that's what happens when you get him rolling out. He just becomes that extra offensive athlete that can make a play, as he did right there, and that gives his team a whole new set of downs to work with, and they're in Caveman real estate.
It's a 20-yard pickup. Jake now has 124 yards rushing on 16 carries.
Twins right, a receiver to the left, out of the two-back gun again. It's going to be a handoff, and Mills Crawford waiting for something to open up. He still stays on his feet before he's side hit right near the 43-yard line.
Max McCullough.
Gain of maybe a generous yard. 2nd and 9 coming up.
Eckendorfer on the stop.
Eckendorfer on the stop for Mishawaka. Clock continues to dwindle down. We're at 5:39 on the Bellman Oil Company scoreboard, 24-14.
Watching the linebackers, Tony, for Mishawaka, and if they're spying on Jake Reichert, they over-pursued on that big 20-yard run.
2nd and 9 from the gun. Reichert's going to tuck and run. Goes left side. Nice juke. But then a better open field tackle made by Vasquez.
Isaac
Valdez makes the tackle. That's a sophomore who, by the way, is their backup kicker that made that play. No gain. It's now 3rd and 9 for the Rockies. Back in will be Devin Bowering. He'll be one of the receivers here with Sheely and Garcia. Bowering will split left. Garcia will be, it's a two-back gun look with Reichert in the middle. He barks out the play. And he got the caveman to jump. So that'll give the Rockies an extra 5, which will now make it a third and
Dead ball offsides against Mishawaka.
about a third and about 4 here coming up maybe.
4.
So that will help. And maybe change the next play call here. Bowering comes out and Creekbaum comes in as a substitution. He gives Jake the next play call. That's one thing Jake has been able to do and getting better at is hard snap count.
Now you can, you're really 4-down territory, so you can really do a number of things here on this third down and manageable.
Trips to the right this time in this formation in a 2-back gun look. Reichert's going to tuck and try to run. Runs right into the pile, and Mishawaka gives him nothing.
Got a short yard on the
So maybe a half a yard on the gain, but now we're looking at a 4th and a short 4 coming up.
Tyler Fair made the initial hit.
Someone was supposed to open up a little bit of a gap there, and they just missed their guy. But credit Mishawaka, they filled the gap and prevented a big play there. So now it's 4th and 4 at the Mishawaka 37. A huge play here for the Rockies in this 2-by-2 formation. Single back shotgun. Ball at the 37. They need 4 for a first down. Whistle sounds and a timeout called by Mishawaka.
Mishawaka.
So that timeout is called. We'll keep it here. Remind you that tonight's game is brought to you in part by Plymouth DC Garage Door and Entry. Since 1988, Plymouth DC Garage Door and Entry has become the largest overhead door company in northern Indiana. Owner Jim Brown invites you to stop by their Airport Road location in Plymouth or call 936-7902 for any type of garage service you need. And also by Culligan Soft Waters, celebrating 81 years in serving Marshall County. By The Complete Printer, TCP, the official printing company, and X 98.3. Also by our good friends at Burt's Body Shop. You bend them, we mend them. At Burt's Body Shop in Plymouth. By Johnson Danielson Funeral Home, where it's service beyond expectation with Johnson Danielson Funeral Home. Terry and Jim, we love those two. They're great people. If you ever want to meet them, go have a cup of coffee with them. I suggest you do so. All right. Both teams still in a huddle right now with 3:30 left to go in this third frame. 24-14. Mishawaka has the lead. Right now, some much-needed rest here for this Rocky team is, again, they've been in a battle here tonight. And, you know, Coach Barron made it very clear throughout practice this week that they were going to be in for their biggest physical matchup of the season. If not, maybe the most physical. The Warsaw game was pretty physical, but
speaking of Warsaw, they're up 20-7 now on Northridge.
4th and 4 from the 37 of Mishawaka. Here we go. Big play. Twins right, twins left, one right, and a 2-back gun look. Hard count. Reichert. Now he's going to drop back. Look to throw. He's still scrambling. Throws upfield. His pass is caught. And see at the 21st down, and then the ball jarred loose, and they're going to say he fumbled it. Mishawaka gets the loose ball.
He was crushed.
I mean, Garcia was stuck. And coming away with that loose ball was Kanan Jewett. And John Barron is talking to Garcia saying, hey, listen, are you okay, son?
There's a flag in the middle of the field.
There's a flag that was in the middle of the field here. So hold on. Mishawaka is celebrating right now. They don't think this penalty is going to be against them. The officials continue to discuss. Here's the call.
Ineligible man.
Yep, an ineligible man for the Rockies downfield. And so Mishawaka will take over on downs. So it was a catch by Garcia, but he got popped. And when he got popped, that ball jarred loose. It resulted in a fumble. Mishawaka recovered. And now with 3:18 left in the third, they will have the football at their own 34-yard line. That is just a tough break right there. So the Rockies will show a 5-man front as they have all night going up against this tremendously sized offensive line for Mishawaka. Fisher under a center. Burris goes in motion. It's going to be a give to the fullback, and again Mason gets the call. Climbs his way up shy of the 40, right near the 39. So that'll be a gain of about 4 yards, 5 yards.
And Daniel Bacon.
Crawford and Bacon, once again, getting their names called as making the tackle on that last play. But they're going to have some hefty numbers defensively when it's all said and done. The amount of tackles they made tonight. 2nd and 5 from the Mishawaka 39. A receiver at the top. Again, burst of motion from the left wing. Fisher keeps. The quarterback up the middle, finds a hole. Gets across the 45, 50, and down at the Rocky 48-yard line.
At the Rocky 49-yard line, 1st and 10 for
So
Mishawaka.
the Rockies allow the big play that allows another first down for the Cavemen.
Yeah, that was just a gut punch that, looked like Garcia had picked up the first down, but great defensive play. Again, one of those plays, Tony, you got to credit, the players on the field. He made a play.
A 2-wing back look once again. You got Waterford on the near side as a lone receiver. In motion burst, and it's a give. Nope, it's a quarterback keep off the right guard. And he just takes on 3 Rocky defenders. Bacon was the man who stopped him at the 45. So now it's going to be a 2nd and 5 coming up here for Mishawaka. Down to 2 minutes left to go in this third. Here's where this Mishawaka ground game becomes so difficult, because not only are they getting 5 yards a run, they're also taking off some very valuable clock.
Fisher up to 133 yards rushing.
2-wing back look, burst in motion. Hand off, it's going to be sidestepping through traffic,
Mason
but Crawford stops Mason on the run, and right there at the 42. So a 2-yard gain. Navahar also helping out on the Rocky tackle. So it's a 3rd and a long 3 coming up here for Mishawaka's. We're down to 1:18 left to go here in the third. 24-14 Mishawaka. They scored on their opening drive in this third quarter to open it up. So here we go. A 2-wing back look, ball near the right hash mark. Burris goes in motion. It's going to be a quarterback keep again. Fisher, first down run as he climbs his way down to the 35-yard line. That'll move the chains once more for the Cavemen. Now we're down to 1 minute. Clock resumes as the ball's placed on the right hash mark. Keith Kinder in his 3rd year as head coach of Mishawaka. Near his offensive coordinator just to see what this next play is going to be.
32 carries between Mason and Fisher.
Dare I say a run. Here's the handoff. Mason gets a call, left guard, and he broke it, but oh, what a leg tackle by Bacon. He saved the touchdown. Right near the 25-yard line is where they'll spot the football. Another first down run for Mishawaka.
At the Rocky 25-yard line.
So now we're down to 25 seconds left to go in the third. And I think Mishawaka's just going to go to the sideline and run out the rest of this first half clock, or third quarter clock. So that'll be the case. And it's a 10-point lead here for Mishawaka. 24-14 going into the third on the Bellman Oil Company scoreboard. It's our A&M Home Services NLC battle between Mishawaka and Plymouth, fourth quarter, after this timeout.
For quality gutter services from experienced professionals you can trust, call Gutter Guys. We make it seamless. We offer cleaning and repair, leaf guards, and we have over 30 colors of aluminum for you to choose from. We provide free estimates, and 100% satisfaction is guaranteed. For more information, please call Gutter Guys today and see what we can do for you.
Call the Gutter Guys at 780-2311. That's 780-2311.
Well, our A&M Home Services Game of the Week on Max 98.3 brought to you by Bourbon Street Pizza with 5 area locations near you. If you like pizza, you'll love Bourbon Street Pizza. By Culver Portside Marina, Northern Indiana's premier full-service marina. Visit culverportsidemarina.com. By YSC Gear. For your gently used sporting goods like baseball gloves, bats, cleats, helmets, and athletic wear and shoes, there's only one place to go. Go to the local small sports store with a big store inventory. That's YSC Gear. And don't forget, they're going to be open for Sidewalk Sale Days tomorrow get some great deals. But they were busy today. It was great to see. We get ready to start the fourth quarter. Doug Griffith, Tony Ross, A.J. Bodine with us as well. Back at the Max Studios, our engineer for tonight.
Tony, the stat of that third quarter, Mishawaka time of possession, 8 minutes.
Yep, that's just, there's just not much you can say other than the fact that's typical Mishawaka football. And now they find themselves at the Rocky 25-yard line to start this fourth. 1st and 10, Burris in motion. It's the give to Mason right up the gut. Bacon stops him right near the 19. It's a 6-yard gain.
Got 6
Well,
on the
again,
play,
you
second
just,
and 4.
as I mentioned at halftime, it's going to be interesting to see how the defensive 5 up front are going to be able to keep their stamina against this Mishawaka front line, offensive front line. You could just look at them. It's like David versus Goliath out there. And for those of you watching on Big Red Sports YouTube channel, you can see the difference. A 2-wing back look in the 2nd and 4 from the 19. It's a handoff right up the middle. Mason again. He gets close to the first down. I think he had to get to the 15, stopped at the 16.
And Bacon on the stop.
So he's going to be shy a yard. A 3rd and 1 coming up here for the Cavemen. Shealy's going to come into the game defensively for the Rockies. His creek bomb.
Mason just went over 100 yards. He's now 20 carries, 101 yards.
Boy, with the amount of carries he's had tonight, you would think he would have been getting close to 200 yards.
There again, I mean, the 5 yards per carry average.
As Justin gets under his center, and Fisher will hand it off.
Andrew Mason.
And Mason goes right up the gun again. This time the Rockies only give him about a yard and enough for the first down.
For a Mishawaka first down.
So that'll move the chains.
14-yard line.
So now the ball placed at the Rocky 14. 10.5 left to go in this contest. Cavemen will continue to take their time. Play clock in their favor. It's only at 17 and counting. 2-wing back look, and from the Rocky 14, 1st and 10. It's going to be a keeper by Fisher off left guard. He got stuck by Daniel Bacon right at the 11. That'll be a 3-yard run for Fisher on the QB keep. Bacon coming up with another big stop.
Jake Reichert on the initial
Jake Reichert also got in on it.
Got about 4 on
so now you're looking at a 2nd and 6 here for Mishawaka. Ball placed at the Rocky 10-yard line. Yeah, it's a 2-wing back look. The wings are right on just off the derrieres of their tackles here. Hardy goes in motion. Fisher's going to keep, now pitches to Hardy. Gets to the 5, to the 3, and he got rocked out of bounds shy of the goal line. And they'll spot him right near the 1, maybe 2-yard line. They're going to say in between the 2 and the 1-yard line.
Shealy and Bacon in on the stop.
Shealy got in on the tackle, and so did Bacon. Shealy just came into the game for defensive purpose. So now, with a whole new set of downs to work with on that first down run, it's 1st and goal Mishawaka. As they look to punch it in again. Here's going to be the give to Mason, and he gets into the end zone.
Touchdown, Andrew Mason on the 1-yard carry.
So Mason scores his 2nd touchdown of the night. And Mishawaka opens up their lead. It's now 30-14. That's a 1-yard scamper into the end zone for the Cavemen. That touchdown comes at the 9:30 mark. And Mishawaka will continue to stay in their 2-point conversion. They'll have 2 receivers to the right here. The ball placed at the left hash mark. Here's the snap. Fisher's going to roll out to the right. He's going to throw to the end zone. His pass is caught by Burris. And the 2-point conversion is successful. So the Cavemen,
on the catch for 2.
I don't think they've missed on a 2-point conversion tonight.
9:30 remaining.
So now it is 32-14 Mishawaka. Well, and I tell you, it's turned into a chilly Friday night. And the Rockies have now got their backs up against the wall, trailing 32-14. Tonight's game brought to you in part by the Pilot News, Marshall County's news source since 1851. Also by Miller's Assisted Living. Since 1969, Miller's Senior Assisted Living has proudly been committed to caring for those in a time of need in this community. Whatever you decide, we're here to help. Check us out, 625 Oak Hill Avenue in Plymouth. And by DC Garage Doors and Entry. Since 1988, Plymouth DC Garage Door and Entry has become the largest overhead door company in northern Indiana. Owner Jim Brown invites you to stop by at their Airport Road location in Plymouth or just give them a call at 936-7902 for any type of garage service you need. George kicks it off for Mishawaka, and it's a good one. Rockies will accept it. It's Garcia at the 5. Scampers to the 15-20. Stutter steps near the 25, and he's going to get spun around and finally brought down to the 25.
To about the 27-yard line.
Now Devontae tonight, specialty teams on the defensive side, offensive side. The kid's taking his licks tonight, but he's gotten up. He is a tough, tough kid. So the Rockies will have it at their 27-yard line in the 1st and 10 trailing on the Bellman Oil Company scoreboard. 32-14 to Mishawaka.
Last scoring drive for Mishawaka, 12 plays, 66 yards, 5:47 time of possession, Tony.
That's just getting it done. Twins to the right, a receiver to the near side. That's Creekbaum on the short porch left. Out of the two-back gun look, it's going to be Reichert. He grabs the snap. He's going to lower his shoulder and whistle his way up to the 30. So that'll be a gain of about 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7 coming for the Rockies. Hooten on the tackle for Mishawaka. Rockies back in the huddle. 9 minutes and counting left to go in this one. 2nd and 7. Sheely splits to the wide right. He's on an island by himself. And twins to the left. And here's the snap. And it's going to be rolling to the right. Now tucking and going. What a juke by Reichert at the 30, 35, 40, right side 45. He got hit late at that caveman sideline, but no whistle. But that's a first down run by Jake Reichert on a good run by the Plymouth senior.
1st and 10, Rockies.
So the Rockies will move the chains. And they are now up to their 45-yard line with that nice run by Jake.
Jake, 20 carries now, 143 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Mills and Sheely are the twins to the right. Garcia is in the slot while Creekbaum is on the outside to the left. Here's the snap in this 1st and 10. Reichert backpedals, now has to run. He's got 3 defenders ready to kill him, and then he slips and fumbles the ball, and Mishawaka picks it up at the Rocky 30.
Fumble on the play.
So Mishawaka will take over on possession. Reichert was scrambling for his life, and he slipped on the, what I can only imagine being the wet turf, being nighttime and the dew beginning to be an issue.
He was just trying to do a lot, trying to juke, and like you said, he was under duress and looked like he's frustrated with himself.
And now the Rockies going to have to play some defense and try to keep this score where it's at. And right now on the Bellman Oil Company scoreboard, it is 32-14 in favor of Mishawaka. So they'll continue their phone booth offense with 2 wing backs. I mean, everybody is within 2 yards of each other. Well, the fullback is within 2 yards. Everybody else is within, let's just say they're not practicing social distancing.
Timeout, Mishawaka.
Timeout has been called. And with this timeout, we'll take a 30-second break. 8:29 left to go here in the game. Mishawaka has the lead on our A&M Home Services Game of the Week. 32-14 your score. Back after this timeout.
All water recreational needs. When it comes to pontoons, Godfrey leads the industry in performance and quality, and Portside Marina has it in stock. From Sampan, Aqua Patio, and Sweetwater Pontoons. If you're looking for a family boat, Culver Portside Marina can help. Located at 514 West Mill Street in Culver. Stop in or call them at 842-5000. Culver Portside Marina.
Join us tomorrow morning for the Saturday Morning Coaches Show. It'll be 2 hours of talking area high school football with our coaches. Kick starts with Andy Dorrell right around 7:10, 7:15 tomorrow morning on the Saturday Morning Coaches Show. Lean back and motions Burris. It's going to be handoff to Mason. He's going to get inside to 30 and gut his way to the 25-yard line. 5-yard run. Second and 5 coming up for Mishawaka. They'll give him, well, actually, they're going to give him 4. So 2nd and 6. That might be his first carry under 5 for the night. That's how impressive this fullback has been for the Cavemen. Clock down to 8 minutes. 32-14. Mishawaka on top. Man in motions Burris. It's going to be a keeper by Fisher. He goes off the right side and he gets leg tripped right at the 20-yard line. And now we got a whistle here and flag has been thrown.
Isaac Navahar on the stop.
Navahar gets credited for the tackle for the Rockies, but we'll see with this penalty, and it's going to be a personal foul against the Rockies.
Personal foul against the Rockies.
So that will give the Cavemen an automatic first down, and they get to go a little deeper in Rocky real estate. The ball right now is planted at the 19, and it will get walked off inside the 15, and right at the 9-yard line or 10-yard line.
It'll be first and goal.
First and goal,
for Mishawaka
nonetheless,
inside the 10-yard line.
for Mishawaka.
The big uglies up front for Mishawaka really
win the
wear
battle.
them down.
Yeah.
Yep. Surge is getting even more pronounced, as you'd expect. I mean, they've been on the field the whole second half.
Whistle sounds. Timeout's called here by Plymouth, and I think that's
Timeout Rockies.
just JB trying to give his boys a breather here. John Barron right now talking to the referee here, wanting to know what that penalty was. I mean, that's a big penalty, but still nonetheless, it's a penalty that the Rockies are going to have to deal with now. And it's a first and goal from the 10-yard line for Mishawaka, and this has just been...
I'd love to know how many tackles David Bacon has.
Well, we'll find out at the end of this one.
Jeez.
By the way, we probably should give a big shout out to Ben Weymouth. Now, he is getting help from his partner, even though Ben is not here. His daughter is at a function in the event that she's in, and he's not here. He's somewhere, I can't remember off the top of my head, but he is still doing stats. His partner's calling him and via the phone and still doing stats from somewhere else. That's just how talented we are here. All right, coming off the timeout, first and goal from the 10 for Mishawaka. Ball middle of the field. Hardy goes in motion. Keeper by Fisher cuts it in, and he's tripped up before the goal line.
Stop just short of the goal line.
And I think that's Daniel Bacon saving another touchdown. They'll mark him at the 2.
Quintana on the stop.
Quintana.
It'll be
I'm
second
going to
goal.
give Quintana the credit there, but I could have swore I saw Bacon stick that arm out and get that leg trip. But either way, the Cavemen are now in a second and goal from the 2 and ready to punch in another touchdown. 7 minutes left in this game. It'll be Fisher keeping, and again, he gets into the end zone as he leaps in for the Caveman touchdown. So Mishawaka starting to open up the can as Fisher with a 2-yard scamper. That's a 2-yard run. And it's 38-14. 7:01 left to go in the game. And this time they're going for an extra point as Connor George will look to do the honors, and the Rockies jump. And that is how
Offsides
the
against
end
the
of this
Rockies.
game is slowly going for the Rockies.
Connor George will be attempting the point after out of the hold of Justin
So the penalty is
Fisher.
declined, and they're still going to go for the extra point here. Here's the snap, the hold, the place, the boot. It's up, and Connor made that look very
Kick is
easy.
good.
So the extra point is good, and Mishawaka now leads at 39-14.
Mishawaka 39, Rockies 14, Rockies 14.
So an impressive showing by this Mishawaka team. And I tell you, we said in the pregame show, don't let the 0-3 record fool you. They have put up some numbers, but their early schedule has been murderous. Not that it gets any easier for them, because next week they got to host Concord. Then they travel to Northwood, and then they finish up with Wawasee and Northridge. Northridge playing some good football this year, but tonight they are feeling the wrath of Coach Curtis's Warsaw Tigers. We'll try to get some scores for you before we end our broadcast. So the Cavemen, who are up 39-14, will kick it off to the Rockies left to right on your radio dial, and Garcia will grab it as 5. Gets to the 10, 15. He turns to the right 20. Stayed on his feet for as long as he could up to the 24.
Garcia with the return for the Rockies.
So Devontae
brought down,
able to get the Rockies to the 24-yard line for this upcoming possession.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Next week, our game of the week will take us to Knox, as we'll get a chance to watch the LaVille Lancers for the first time. They were supposed to open up our season broadcast against Bremen, but COVID-19 had struck the program, and so they had to miss their first 2 games. But tonight they had Caston in their midst. They were looking to take a 2-0 record into the Knox game. Knox facing John Glenn. Last we had reported, they were up by a touchdown. On the 1st and 10, up the gut run by Colin Mills. Gets him up to the 30-yard line, so a 5-yard gain by Colin.
Brought down by Balin Eby.
So Eby on the tackle for Mishawaka. The clock continues to dwindle down.
Got almost 5
now
on the
it's
play.
6:35 and counting.
Here's an NLC score. Warsaw now 27, Northridge 7 in the 4th quarter.
Now we said it, this again, not to sound like a broken record. This Warsaw team's good. Here's another one up the middle. Colin Mills getting the call. 35, 40, 45. And he stopped right around the 45. That'll be a first down run for the Rockies there.
Down by Kanan Jewett.
Jewett on the tackle, and it looks like Colin is hurt. He may have took a gut hit after that run. I tell you, there's nothing like going full speed and then just getting hit right in the old midsection to stop you. So we got a timeout here, and maybe it's not necessarily one of those catch-your-win scenarios. The Plymouth Athletic Director, Ryan Carroll, is out there looking, I think, at the left leg of Colin. Boy, and if there's one thing the Rockies can't afford to have is another injury. We'll come back, give you an update, and then we'll continue on with the play here at this beautiful rock pile here at Plymouth High School. But right now, it's all Mishawaka. 39-14, 6:13 left in the Billman Oil Company scoreboard. Back after this 30-second timeout.
More. The floor store and more. We have the area's largest selection of floor covering. We carry a wide variety of carpet, ceramic tile, hardwood flooring, fine area rugs, and laminate. We can offer styles in wood, ceramic, hand-scraped, exotic, stone, and tile. Why wouldn't you come to us? The floor store and more, conveniently located in Plymouth.
So Colin Mills makes his way off the field. He's getting looked at, and looks like that left shin area or around the calf getting worked on. The Rockies will have a 1st and 10 from their 45-yard line on this next play. Twins to the right, a receiver to the left. Here's the snap, and it's going to be directly snapped, I believe, to
Crawford, I think.
Was it Crawford who got the call on that one? Yes, it was. Crawford indeed. So Crawford able to get a couple of yards when he ran it up the middle on the direct snap.
Crawford, the ball
So now it's a 2nd and 7 coming up here.
Play 2nd and 7.
Sheely and Garcia will be twins to the right. And the receiver on the near side will be Devin Bowery. Once again, the snap out of the gun. Reichert, he hands it off, and lowering his shoulder is Lester. He gets across the 50. I think that's Lester. Nope, it's Navahar.
With the carry.
Isaac getting the call as running back.
Brought down by Max McCullough.
McCullough makes the tackle for the Cavemen. And now it's going to be a 3rd and 4 coming up for Plymouth. Rockies will break the huddle. Shealy will split off to the right. Creekbaum and Garcia are going to be the Twins left. Ball at the Mishawaka 49. 3rd and 4. Here's the snap. It's going to be right to Reichert. He's going to lower his head, foul block, lunge across the 35. That should be good enough for a 1st down, and it will be. So a nice run for Jake Reichert up the middle. And that gives a whole new set of downs for this Rocky offense.
1st and 10, Rockies.
Well, you know it's fall, and you know it's high school football here at the Rock Pile when you hear John Scott, the public address announcer here. And it's 1st down, Rockies. Been enjoying that for years. Twins to the right, receiver to the left, out of the gun. Reichert hands off. Crawford gets the call, goes over right guard. He climbs his way to the 41 and no further. 3-yard gain there.
Crawford, the ball carrier.
So this will be a 2nd down and 7 coming up.
And Gavin Eckendorfer.
I think that was Lutz who got credited for the Mishawaka tackle there.
On the play, 2nd and 7.
Approaching the 4-minute mark. Left to go in the game. 39-14 on the Bellman Oil Company scoreboard. Trips to the left in this formation for Plymouth. Again, it's a 2-back gun look, both on the left side of Reichert. Bad snap. Reichert has to pick it up and run for his life. Stiffs arm. Creekbaum will split wide left. Twins to the right here, and Garcia and Shealy. Ball at the right hash mark, and it's going to be Reichert to roll left. Looking to outrun his man, does. Gets to the 50, 45, to the 40. Tight ropes the sideline before he's taken down inside the 35. And that's a 1st down run for Reichert
Washington.
as it is to the 32-yard line. So a great run by Jake Reichert.
It'll be 1st and 10.
He had to run a country mile in order to get that 1st down for Plymouth. Clock stops. Now we'll start back up here once they place the football. Well, off the snap, I should say. Rockies will break the huddle.
I've got Reichert for 26 carries, Tony, for 144 yards. That's a heck of a lot for a quarterback.
Yes, it is.
Even in high school.
Trips right. It's going to be a handoff. Reichert giving it to Mills. Nice cut. Sends the middle across the 25, 20, and he's brought down at the 18. Colin Mills with another nice run. Starting to like what I'm seeing out of him running the football as we're down to 2:07 left to go in the game. Rockies trying to punch in another touchdown to finish this game on a positive note. They have been stymied this 2nd half. Trips to the right. Garcia, Creekbaum, and Shealy inside out. Here's the snap to Reichert in the gun. It's chest high, throws a quick out pass. It's caught by Garcia. Can he get a lead block at the 15? He gets it at the 10 instead. Nice shake and bake move. Garcia gets himself to the 5, and that's a 1st down for the Rockies there. So a 1st and goal, 5-yard line for Plymouth. With a minute 39 left to go here in the game.
Just outside the 5-yard line.
I'll tell you what, though, Devontae Garcia has been fun to watch here tonight for the Rockies. That young man is an athlete. So is Jake Reichert. 1st and goal from the 5 for the Rockies. And it's going to be Reichert handing it off. Mills is going to scamper into the end zone.
Touchdown.
A 5-yard run for Colin Mills.
He's Colin Mills.
They'll make it 39-20.
5 yards for 6.
Colin Mills, his 1st touchdown on the high school level. And it comes from 5 yards out. And with a minute 19 left. Rockies going for the 2-point conversion. Trips to the left. It's going to be Reichert handing it off to Mills, and he finishes the drive with a 2-point dive into the end zone.
1:19 remaining in the
So with a minute 19 left to go in the game, it's now a 39-22 lead for Mishawaka.
Next up for the Rockies will be another home game, and it'll be against Wawasee, who's improved this year, but they've had some struggles here of late. But as of right now, after tonight's performances, there's going to be a lot more positives to talk about than negatives. But here again, the things that are going to be discussed that are negative are going to be, again, repetitive points for this Rockies squad. But the other part of that is this Mishawaka offense is pretty impressive. And they've chewed up just as many seconds off the clock with their drives as they've punched it into the end zone.
Well, and they answered the bell, Tony, in the right away in the second half. They led just 16-4, and we said how big that opening drive of the third quarter would be, and they took the ball and went right down the field and got it in the end zone and really dashed any dreams of a Plymouth upset.
Quintana with an onside kick to the right, popped up in the air, and this one is going to be caught by Reichert. Will gain possession with 1:15 left to go in the game.